Hi, my name is Kenny, and this is That Is Not a Thing, a show where I talk about things that may exist in your world, but it's just not a thing. In this inaugural episode, we're going to talk about steampunk. Okay, where do I begin? All right, so steampunk is a subgenre of science fiction, okay, in which there's an alternate timeline where electricity never existed. Okay.
What you talking about, Willis?
I mean, Benjamin Franklin must be rolling over in his grave. He went through all that trouble to get electrocuted by a damn kite, or allegedly, just to for us to ignore the fruits of his labor. Like we're just gonna ignore electricity because what now we don't care about the environment. We just want things to get filthy and covered in coal ash. I don't understand this whole thing. I'm at a loss of word.
That's a good question that apparently they can't answer.
Okay, so you'll notice now that it's nighttime if you look at the window behind me, and here's the very specific reason why. The rabbit hole goes deep, my friends, of course, as most things with these subcultures do. Um, I should stop using air quotes, whatever. Um, but I found this website called Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences.com. And just to give you a little insight into the characterizations, this is what they say on their page. And pardon me for not reading into the camera. Often, we receive queries at the Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences that extend beyond our usual fare. While we hardly categorize, my cat is coughing up hairballs that move, and my teenage daughter simply won't listen to her father, worthy of our attention, one often asked question does give us pause. What is steampunk? It's a very good fucking question. Depending on which resource you reference, be it Wikipedia, which I used, or steampunk.com, I'm afraid to go on that website, you will find a variety of answers and interpretations to this creative movement that has been growing in popularity, but also capturing mainstream curiosity. I feel like I need a citation on that. It seems opinion based. We at the ministry, because of course it's a ministry, because I guess they're in Britannia, or some other country that, it's certainly not the United Kingdom or Great Britain or England. Hashtag Brexit, but I'm sure it would be called Britannia or something. Oh, Lord. We at the ministry, based on our own research and passions on this subject, have compiled a page that offers several descriptions of what we believe constitutes steampunk. So already we're just calling ourselves steampunk. It might not be your definition. Maybe this is post steampunk. And then it goes into saying, we begin with an elevator pitch to start and then work up to the deep dive that not only touches on the foundations of the genre, but even touches on the debate making rounds online and at the cons. So apparently there's just debates in general. So I'm sure those must be just very covered in coal ash and clanky with all the metal. So without further ado, that's their words, not mine. I would never talk like that. Steampunk is modern technology, iPads, computers, robotics, air travel, powered by steam and set in the 1800s. Okay, I would love to see that. Um, I don't know how any of those things would be achieved. But sure, I guess they do this at the Ministry of Peculiar Occurrences. It would be a peculiar occurrence to see an iPad, shoveling coal into the ass of your iPad so you can keep the touchscreen working. Um, and then it gives an example of how mainstream it is from the show Castle, where Nathan Fillion, of course, is wearing a metal arm. Sure. Um, and then it goes on to say, steampunk is an inspired movement of creativity and imagination, which I'll give it that. They are creative. With a backdrop of either Victorian England or America's Wild West at hand, modern technologies are reimagined and realized as elaborate works of art, fashion, and mechanics. If Jules Verne or H.G. Wells were writing their science fiction today, it would be considered steampunk. No. If they were writing their science fiction today, it would be called historical, or they would be writing about the technologies that we have now, because they were just imagining what steam could do. But then we found this magical thing called electricity and moved on. Unfortunately, some people didn't get that memo. Maybe they need to put more coal up into their iPads and their iWatches, which I'm sure has 1,000 gears on it. So basically, we have a group of people that glue pieces of metal trash to themselves and use goggles, not as eyewear, but as accoutrement for their head, which I could use because as I've been doing this podcast and going down this rabbit hole, I keep going like this to my hair because I just can't believe that there's so much thought and energy going into this. Because, y'all, it's just not a thing. It's just not. Now, when you go to your cons, live your life. Do your thing. That's the whole point. It's the fantasy, but it's just not a real thing. It's not a real thing. And it wouldn't bother me so much if I didn't see people actually wearing top hats and goggles around my beloved city of Richmond, Virginia. I guess that's part of my problem, having grown up here, and we're just that kind of hipster, I guess. But, oh, Lord. It would just be nice to, just embrace technology. It's great. I'm sure you're going to use this technology that you wish didn't exist in order to leave me hateful comments, which feel free to leave below. If you disagree with me, of course, leave it in the comments and you can state your case. If you agree with me, you can state it in the comments and state your case as well. Be sure to subscribe, share. I'm hoping to do one of these each week. Some will be more serious than others. But the steampunk thing has just been driving me crazy for a very long time because I have some awesome friends who are very into the con scene, Wizard Con and Comic Con and stuff like that. So I get it, but no, still love you, but no, stop gluing gears to your body and covering yourself in coal. We're trying to move away from coal energy. Let's work towards like water, it's just for the environment and Al Gore. So, that was my first episode. I know it went a little long and I know the editing is a little choppy. If it bothers you that much, buy me a fucking camera and, get me the right software. How about that? But I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you had a good laugh at it. It's really just to have a good laugh. And we're all part of something that, really isn't a thing. And we'll get to mine someday. But anyways, I hope you guys have a great day. And don't take it too hard. It's just silly fun on the internet. So, but if you hate it, make sure you show everyone how much you hate it by showing them the video. I could use the views. Thank you. See you next week.